I told the group Wednesday night, when I was growing up, well, after I got grown and gone, my dad never called. That was before cell phones. He had the phone on the wall, but he never called me. If he ever called you, you knew something was wrong. But we called him. My brother and I would call him on a regular basis and check on him after Mom died. And when I was working on my doctor's degree, it was the only time in my entire life, after having moved out, got married, moved away, it was the only time that my dad ever called me. And after I began to work on my doctor's degree, my first week working, being accepted in the doctoral program, my dad called me. And I answered the phone. I'm thinking something's wrong. And he says to me, "Well, you started your doctoral work." And I said, "Yeah, I started class this week." He said, "You know what a doctor's degree is, don't you?" And I said, "Well, what?" He said, "It's just another curl in the pig's tail. You're still a pig." And he hung up. That was it. That was the conversation. And the next week, he calls me again. And I answer the phone. This time, you know what he said? "You know what a doctor's degree is, don't you?" "It's just another curl in the pig's tail. You still a pig." And he called me almost every week through the entire process of getting my doctor's degree. And when I graduated from New Orleans and family went, it was a big day, they hood you and all this kind of stuff, and the pomp and circumstance. My dad was there. It was a proud moment. Dad's there. Mom's in heaven at that time, but Dad's there, and it's a proud moment, and I know he's proud of me and my accomplishment. And you just kind of swelled up there for a moment, because boy, I got all the regalia on, and I'm there. We go outside to take pictures with the family, and so immediately Tanya's like, "Hey, first of all, let's get a picture with you and your dad, and then with you and your dad and your brother. Let's get one with you and your dad." And so we're standing there together, and just before she clicks the picture, he leans over in my ear and he says, "You're still a pig." But you know what he was doing, right? He was doing what Paul's doing. He was saying it's not the knowledge that you gain that makes you right with God. It's got to go from here to the heart. And so he says, don't be so arrogant. But I want to say this to you, because it's easy for you to look up there and say, "Well, yeah, I know. Boy, I'm glad God didn't call me to be a pastor and the responsibility of teaching other people." But the same is true for you, right? Because it's hard for you to talk the talk and walk the walk.